Welcome back to Season 2, Episode 11 of Class on Grass Podcast.
Yes, we're recording right now on a Thursday, and it'll be posting on a Monday. So there will be a little bit of time in between when this was recorded and when you guys are hearing it. So apologies for any recent games that we don't have on the agenda.
Last weekend.
Yeah. But the men's national team game did just happen, so we'll discuss that. First off, though, great new background. We nailed up the scarf.
Oh.
Yeah, no.
I hadn't noticed.
Yeah, you just walked in, you didn't even realize.
No.
Walked in, took off your mask, sat down, didn't even realize. Yeah, we've got the books up here now, which kind of looks good. We've got lamps. You know, obviously we got to put lamps in there. And then the Minnesota United scarf. So, yeah, that's good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but the reason why we did miss it was because of the Caden Clark interview, obviously. Hope you all enjoyed that. But yeah, we didn't really get to comment on last weekend's Premier League fixtures.
Yeah. And we could talk a little bit about it today, but most likely it will be gone, and you guys can just reflect
about it anyway.
You can reflect on it yourselves.
Yeah. But yeah, one thing we are bringing back.
Well, if you guys don't follow our Instagram, check down there right below. Go follow our Instagram, because then you would have seen we've just posted limited edition exclusive Hassani of the Week sweatshirts. They're beautiful.
We did a great job.
They are really good looking. So guys, go get some of those. And that means, if you haven't guessed it, that we're bringing the Hassani of the Week back.
If you followed us from...
Due to popular demand.
Yeah, sure. But if you followed us from the very beginning, we used to do a Hassani of the Week, which was like best player of the week that we reviewed, and we kind of talked about what they did to deserve that prestigious award.
Yes, very prestigious. And we haven't quite explained it yet, but Hassani... It's named after the award is named after Hassani Dotson, who is a really all-around player for Minnesota United. I'd have to say he plays in many positions, but he scores goals and he comes in crucial for the team. So yeah, we had to name the award after him, and so yeah, go grab those sweatshirts. But yeah, let's just get right into it. The U.S. had a game about.
Well, first we have to do the Hassani of the Week.
What? Yeah. Okay. Sure.
And it connects to the Caden Clark interview.
It does. In the interview, if you didn't watch, Caden Clark discussed how his favorite player was Bruno Fernandes. Although he likes Messi, someone he wants to become and maybe play like in the future would be Bruno Fernandes. So, going off of that, our Hassani of the Week this week is given to Bruno Fernandes. So congratulations, Bruno, if you're listening.
He just happened to score a brace and an assist against Everton the week that we posted it. So
exactly.
That's why he deserves that.
That's from last weekend. Now, on to the U.S. men's national team game, which happened today. I'm expecting that most of our listeners are U.S. citizens, so we can probably discuss this with you guys knowing a lot about it. But one thing that I'd like to say first that I think's really it's a huge step for this United States team that we haven't seen in the past few years is that I believe, I could be wrong, but it's somewhere close to this number, I believe 10 of 11 of the starting 11, except for Sebastian Letgett. Legit. Right. Is that actually how I pronounce it?
Yeah.
Really?
There's like two L's.
I've never pronounced that right.
Yeah. I don't know. But
MLS player.
I believe that is correct. And not only that, but we have one Man City, two Barcelonas.
Yes.
One Dortmund, one Leipzig, one Juventus. I mean, top clubs in Europe.
Wolfsburg.
All American players. Which, really cool to see.
Did you see the Musa guy?
Yeah.
Where does he play?
I can check that.
He looked incredibly
I've never heard
good.
Of him before.
He looked incredibly good. I read up on him. He can still choose between 4 nationalities. This game that he just played in for us is not binding. So what that means is he actually it won't
4
go
4 nationalities. That's crazy.
Yeah. It won't go like he played for us, so now he's a United States player unless he changes it for his one time. He could literally change it and no one could do anything about it because this game doesn't really matter. It's not a Gold Cup game or a World Cup qualifier or CONCACAF or anything.
He plays for Valencia.
He does?
Yeah. So
He's good. He's good.
He was one of the better players out there.
The overall energy of the United States midfield, I thought, was incredible that game. Weston McKennie put in some good tackles, some great long balls.
He had like a dribble around like 3 players and then played a cross-field ball, and I was like, oh, who's that new attacking player? And then I realized it was Weston McKennie. I was like, wow, he's kind of upped his game.
And then as we were talking, Musa, really, really full of energy, trying to win the ball back in the middle of the park, and was good attacking.
Mm-hmm.
And then Tyler Adams, who the announcers were comparing him to Michael Bradley. They were saying he could be that next player for us. He just doesn't have the same passing range. He's a little bit calmer on the ball though, and plays a little bit simpler. I agree. I don't know. I think if you morphed Weston McKennie and Tyler Adams, you'd get more of a Michael Bradley, because I think Michael Bradley was a very smart player, but I also think he made some decisions like with where he would pass it that just they didn't line up with necessarily European styles.
No. Yeah. I mean, we saw after that Trinidad and Tobago loss to not be able to qualify for the World Cup back in about 2017 for the 2018 World Cup. We saw a lot of those players retire or just not even come back to the team, and this is why we have that new wave of youth in the U.S. But Michael Bradley came back as a leadership role, and I thought he might still be there, maybe, but he wasn't for this trip.
Yeah, he wasn't. Well, I think Berhalter was implementing a lot of youth that we didn't see before. Conrad de la Fuente, I'm not sure if it was his debut. Might have been. It was Gio Reyna's debut, fully deserved. I think he should have been playing before this.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's only 17.
Did you think it was interesting? Did you listen to the announcers? They were talking about how Gio Reyna's dad, I believe, went to the same college maybe as Berhalter.
High school. And played
together. And then on top of that, like, their moms were super good friends or something. So how do you feel?
He's got the relationship with the coach.
Yeah, but how do you feel like it would be going like being such a young, like, obviously everyone knows you've earned it, but being such a young player in that team and then having like coach's pet. I don't know if you could describe it like that.
I mean, you only kind of see that when the player isn't up to that standard to start, but I mean, he hasn't showed anything that says, oh, he shouldn't be starting because he's so young or because he hasn't performed that well. I mean, the commentators kind of talked about it when he has Haaland and Jadon Sancho playing, where he can play them through balls and they can just score automatically or create chances so easily, and then he goes to the U.S. team with someone like Leggett, who's not really a number 9. U.S. doesn't have a number 9 right now. I'd say Josh Sargent.
I heard when the announcers were talking about that.
So, I mean,
he does have to change his play style.
No, yeah, you could see definitely in this game he was trying to create chances. I'd say maybe in the second half he grew into the game a little more.
Well, I think Berhalter wants him to play wide more than he's used to.
Yeah.
And I think I saw a lot of times, although Reyna was supposed to be and instructed by Berhalter to move wide, he decided to just go into the middle because he wants to pick up the ball, which is good for him to be doing. It's good for his development. But I think either change his role on the team.
Yeah.
But, it's just difficult because he's, as a young player, it's hard to have, like, many different play styles already. And he's so, like, accustomed to that Dortmund side.
Well, he's so similar to Pulisic. You know, I think Pulisic made his U.S. debut at, like, 18, maybe. I mean,
I think Giovanni Reyna turns 18 tomorrow.
Yeah. And, I mean, Pulisic, when he started out with the U.S. team, I remember him playing wing, kind of false 9, attacking mid. He kind of got moved around a lot. I'm pretty sure that's probably what Gio Reyna will end up doing, just because he has that skill. I think he's farther along than Pulisic was at that age.
I agree. Well, Pulisic, he was behind Dembele, and then he kind of got into the side, but he was just so hyped because he was American. It wasn't...
He was the first kind of breakout American.
Yeah, well, of our time.
Yeah.
And so he was hyped because of that. I believe Reyna's done more. But, I mean, remember Pulisic scored... Was it against Porto? That phenomenal goal in the Champions League against Porto. I don't think it tops the Reyna goal, though.
No. I mean, yeah, it's hard to say. They are very similar in, you know, how they came to Dortmund as teenagers or even younger, kind of got brought up, had this huge break, scored a couple of goals, and now, you know, they're on the big stage. But, I mean, from what I can see, it is kind of hard to say who's better, who's not. I would say Reyna is, at this moment, if he keeps up his form.
Yeah, I was thinking about it today. Reyna's parents were both soccer players, and Pulisic's parents were both soccer players. I think his dad was indoor, but still, like, same thing.
Yeah.
And then you look at some other really good players out there, when they have two parents that were both quite good players. I mean, not the best in the world, but quite good. The kid usually develops pretty well. But then you look at the top level, like the best players in the world, not many of them have parents that played professionally.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's easier to get to that middle tier, but it's way harder to get to the next level because you feel like you're always shadowing your parent? Or do you think if you don't have a parent, then you have more drive to do something on your own?
I think it's two things. One, it is, you know, growing up with that culture of, you'd have to say if both your parents played for the U.S. national team, both women's and men's, they're going to expect you to play soccer, if not go pro.
Exactly.
So I think growing up with that culture around the family that I'm expecting they had definitely helps you a lot to get to that space. But also when you see, you know, young players in England or in Europe, that's all academy.
Yeah.
I mean...
Well, but Messi, I mean, I suppose he was brought up in... You can say they're brought up in academies, but from the young age, Messi was just in Argentina.
Yeah, but, you know, he moved to Barcelona, whatever, like age 9, while, you know, a lot of Americans don't get the opportunity to go to those European academies at that young of an age. So, you know, you hear, like, Mason Mount, Chelsea at, like, age 6 or 8 or something.
Yeah.
Like, if you start that young, it doesn't really matter who your parents are. That's kind of weird to say, but, like...
No, but it's true. Well, like...
Your whole life is football at that...
Yeah.
At that point on. Because you're at an
Like,
academy.
it matters who they are, but one thing I'd add is I also feel if your parents were... Like Tim Weah. His dad won the Ballon d'Or. I don't think Tim Weah will ever win the Ballon d'Or.
No.
Because he is in the shadow of his dad.
You think that's why?
I think that
skill level.
Well, I think it's. I mean, they're both incredible. George was obviously incredibly talented, and Tim's a very talented young player. Has played for Lille, Celtic, PSG. So really good teams, but I think that pressure gets to young players, and when you have the pressure of like, I'm like, if you're a player that doesn't have expectations and you're playing in the Premier League. Like, that's sick. That's so cool.
Yeah.
But if your parents were the best in the world,
that's gotta be so hard.
That's like, I'm not even fulfilling my expectation, and I'm in the best league in the world, arguably.
No, yeah.
So I think pressure might be a big reason for those players not becoming the best, you know?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, that must be really hard. It's especially with players of that high profile. It must be really, like, they have to have that in their mind when playing, being like, okay, my dad made it to this level. If I don't make it at that level, I'll be like a failure. I won't be as far as him.
Exactly.
And, you know, that's probably there for a lot of those young players. But also, we haven't even talked about one of the best players that also played for the U.S., Dest.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
5-star skiller.
Unbelievable.
Right back.
Well, you see him at Barca.
Yeah.
There was one time when I questioned his pace. I think it was... Who was the Schalke striker on the Canadian team. Do you remember his name? I don't quite remember his name, but he was the Schalke striker. I don't think he's played that many games for him, but he was pretty good. But he was running down the left side, and Dest just like he got past him, and then Dest didn't keep up. And like I see all these videos of him just outpacing everyone, and I was like, that's a bit odd, you know. But I think he's going to be great. He looked really comfortable on the right side, as the announcers were saying throughout the game. He can play on both sides, but on that right side, he looked really, really good, like he was comfortable. And I think all of the young players on the team, barring maybe De La Fuente, he definitely has talent, but I just didn't see him getting in the right areas.
Yeah,
and when he did, he didn't finish his dinner.
I mean, yeah, he had the biggest chance of the game.
Yeah.
And skied it. It was a difficult volley. He was under pressure, but still.
Mm-hmm. Got to get it on goal.
Yeah. And it wasn't really about the result today.
No.
I don't think it was more U.S. played for the first time in almost a year. They have a really young squad, all really exciting players from huge clubs. It was more just to see them play together, and I think the more games they play, the better they'll get. And Dest said, for World Cup 2026, we're going to be favored to win it. Which, I mean, is a huge statement. That's just more self-confidence.
You know what that reminds me of? Take a gander.
Che Adams.
Yes, Che Adams.
Hey, so if people don't know, when Che Adams first signed for Southampton, in his first interview, he said, there's no reason we shouldn't be able to win the league with the squad we have.
Wasn't that the year after you were in like 17th place?
Yeah, the year he came, I think it was last year.
Yeah, the year before.
For about the half of that year, first half of the year, we were relegation battle, and then we turned it around and got like 10th. But anyway, well, he said that, and then we got first in the table a couple weeks ago.
So it's a prophecy.
A man can dream.
A man can dream.
I don't know.
It's a prophecy.
That'll be interesting because he didn't say World Cup 2022 because there'd still be way too young and not developed. Yeah, I mean, I see him going maybe quarterfinals. I
see him being in the round of 16 right now. I don't see him being any farther at the moment. What do you think about Caden's chances on that roster?
Well, so yeah, going back to Musa, where he has these 4 nationalities he could choose from,
mm-hmm.
I was thinking in my mind, I don't think there's a team in the world right now that I wouldn't want to be playing for besides the U.S. Because they're so experimental right now. Like, so many young players.
Yeah, so really Caden might get in.
Yeah, they're just really changing their squad up. Anyone can have a chance, and if you do well with that chance, you'll be a starter. Like, it's really just kind of a tryouts right now.
No, it is.
And I think he could easily...
They have another game. When you guys are listening, they'll have played Panama as well. When's that game? Is that Sunday?
Monday?
Sunday or Monday.
I believe.
So yeah, you'll probably be listening after you've seen that game. And I'm wondering, the roster that they have everyone shirted, like their whole squad, everyone shirted, which means everyone's eligible to play. You think he's just going to do a full rotation? Because there was a lot more MLS guys on the bench who he has used in the past.
Yeah. Do you mean, like, for this next game?
Yeah, do you think he's just going to take the 7 guys on the bench, put them in, and then keep Gio Reyna, a few others?
I mean, that's what we've seen from Berhalter since he's came in. He's done a lot of rotation. I would like to see a similar lineup.
I want to see this team gel.
Yeah, I would like to see a similar lineup, the strongest we can put out, and just, I mean, again, like we said, the more games they play together, the better they'll be. And if he keeps moving around, which is good, because everyone should get a chance, because we're in like a rebuilding stage right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's kind of hard to say.
Yeah, I don't know either. I'm hoping, like you said, that we will have a team that looks similar to this one. And again, that just thinking about that center back partnership, John Brooks is automatic.
Oh, it was great to see him. I don't think he's played since like 2015.
Yeah, no,
he's been injured.
It was amazing to see him.
He's really good.
So good. But who's going to be that other center back? Because Miazga looked all right. He obviously plays for Anderlecht.
He's kind of iffy. Yeah, he's kind of iffy. I mean, he has a mistake, or he has He's got a temper, I'd say. I mean, I
Mhm.
remember the Mexico game when I forgot who it was, but he's about this tall on Miazga,
Yeah.
and when he like went up to him to like square up,
Yeah.
he just did this above him because he's so short, and then that started a huge fight, of course.
Like always.
I like to see it. I don't know.
I like to see that grit, but I expect that coming from Weston McKennie.
Yeah, which he has in him too.
Yeah.
So does Pulisic, but I'd also like to see Richards from Bayern.
I want to see a John Brooks, Chris Richards center back.
I would like, next game I'd like to see that, because we've seen Miazga before.
Mm-hmm.
We know what he is. I mean, I've always liked Carter Vickers.
Where is he now?
He kind of fell off.
So he was at Spurs. I think. Did he go to Swansea?
Like,
Was he playing at his home stadium?
Loaned to Swansea.
Was he playing at his? Because they were in Swansea today. Was he playing at his home stadium? Or he wasn't playing, but was he?
I don't think he made the squad.
Did he not?
He might have. I don't know. But, I mean, I've always rated him. Obviously, he hasn't gotten a big chance at Spurs. He probably won't for a while, if any time. I think he should move away. But, I definitely say Chris Richards for this next game. Because John Brooks is huge, and he's so reliable. I think we could experiment with anyone alongside him.
Yeah, I agree. And again, it's a game that doesn't really matter in any way.
No, it's all friendlies.
At all. So yeah, that's sort of our roundup of the U.S. game. We have to talk about this whole Liverpool problem.
It's
a mess. What was it for Joe Gomez? Like it looked like a hamstring, which can be, if it's bad, it can be like 3 to 6 weeks.
I mean, I heard about it and I was like, all right, that sucks again. It's kind of funny, laugh at Liverpool. And then I heard Klopp say, or someone release, like, it's a serious injury. And I was like, I started to feel bad. I was like,
but like they're center backs.
Plus Fabinho,
they're going to be
their
playing.
backup center.
They're going to be playing with Dejan Lovren and Joel
He's on loan.
They're going to retract him.
They could make. Well, how do you make an emergency signing? I see clubs making that. Like,
I think
what gives you the permission?
I think like FIFA has to grant it.
Probably.
Yeah. I mean, they will.
They sign like Sergio Ramos.
Excuse me.
They're emergency.
No, I can see that. I can see that. Totally.
Then he signs permanently, and they have a Van Dijk, Ramos
That would be
partnership.
so sick. But yeah, no, Liverpool. I mean, this could really hurt their title race. Like, it's not even there yet, but it could. Like, we could be looking back on this in like 4 months and being like, oh my god.
Do you think Man City Liverpool title race is still the shout?
No.
You think it won't be either of them?
I think one of them will be in it.
Man City's just, they're on the ropes right now. They
tied Liverpool.
But they have no idea what they're doing. I feel like they need to get a string of like 3 games, 3 wins to just kind of get back on track. Right now they're like really shaky.
I feel like right now, more than we've seen in the past 2 years, top teams are collapsing. You have Liverpool, you have City. I wouldn't say any teams in the Bundesliga, but then you have Barca. Real Madrid just aren't consistent. Like, Real Madrid, Juve, PSG are kind of consistent.
They're so weird. Like,
it's just hard to follow.
They don't have anyone to know Real Madrid. They don't have, like, they have the stars, but they don't have prime stars.
Well, it's just players that you don't think about anymore, like Karim Benzema.
Yeah.
You know?
Or, like, Valverde, who's, like, good.
He's out, though.
Yeah. I mean, but they consistently...
Wait, is he out?
I don't know. They consistently like win games, but under the radar. Like, everyone's talking about Barcelona, while Real Madrid, I don't think they're first. They might be first. But.
Yeah, I mean, I'll check up on it. I just think that right now, I mean, when have we seen teams falling this much? Do you think it's due to COVID?
I mean, it has to be injury-wise. It has to be. For teams.
I'm in airplane mode. Whatever.
We're just that committed to notifications.
We're just that committed to having no notifications. That's why a dog came down here earlier. But no, it's all good. I just think I think that like the 8-2 loss, and then Liverpool losing to Villa, and then just in general City kind of collapsing right now. I mean, if you would have asked me 3 years ago who are the 3 best teams in the world, maybe you'd have to say 4. I'd say City, Liverpool, Real Madrid, Barca.
Yeah.
3 of them, I'd say, have dropped from the top 5. Could you say they've dropped from the top 5?
Now I'd have to say Bayern.
Bayern, Dortmund. I think Dortmund's up there.
Really?
Yeah. Well, that's just personal
Juventus.
opinion. Yes. PSG.
And Aston Villa.
And Brighton.
Yeah, right. They're making a comeback. They're gonna go undefeated.
We're not making a comeback
from now on.
We're on the come up, you know.
Oh, of course.
Yves Bissouma for the Ballon d'Or 2022.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Exactly.
It is a weird time, though. I mean, I don't think it could go back to normal after all of COVID and the schedule is regular and there's fans.
Well, the question then lies in, are we going to go back to normal? Or are we going to have to learn how to live with this?
Normal as in, I think, when fans come back, which
Yeah.
I think a full stadium, that's going to be
It's a
another
while.
year or 2.
Yeah.
I think
I could see it being
Not
longer. I could
this
see it
year.
being shorter.
I see next year maybe being half capacity, maybe depending on what the vaccine does, but
Yeah. But,
see.
I mean, I do think you're right. I think that teams' supporters affect them a lot more than we think.
hmm And I mean, in so many years in the past, when Southampton have been in that relegation zone, they always say home advantage is so key
Yeah.
for those last run of games because you don't want to be away.
Mm-hmm.
You want to have that extra push in those last couple minutes when your club is on the line, relegation.
It just
or not.
it makes unbelievable
Oh,
moments.
yeah. And when there's no fans, I think it hurts the lower end of the table teams more than the upper end. Because the upper end has the quality.
You see, I disagree because before COVID, City and Liverpool were beating teams like 8-0.
Yeah. It's hard, though, because is it down to just poor form, or is it actually down to the circumstances?
Yeah, I don't think we'll ever know. I mean, I think they're either in a bad run of form or like the only way we could find out is if they somehow turn it around. Which
I mean, we're saying this, and Liverpool's, what, second?
Yeah.
And City's whatever.
Yeah, I don't exactly know where City's placed, but I think Liverpool's second.
Like, it's not like they've completely collapsed, but
No, it's just
from the
it's
last
not
couple
it's
years.
not that they're collapsing like that. Like they're going to go down or they're going to get mid-table or something like that. Of course you're going to see them in the Champions League, maybe Europa League next year. Of course. Like those two teams are unbelievable. But they used to be beating teams like I said before 8-0, like 6-0. And now it's 1-0 and they're having slip-ups. Like it's evident that there are slip-ups right now. So I think Liverpool is going to be hit. Like just finishing up this, I think Liverpool is going to be hit hard from those
completely.
injuries. I mean, best center back in the world, in my opinion. I'm guessing yours as well. And
Joe Gomez.
yeah, and Van Dijk.
Best center back in the world, and Van Dijk.
Exactly. Yeah. But no, Van Dijk and Joe Gomez both out that's just huge because like Liverpool's defense was like, I mean,
Solid. And
it wasn't just solid. I mean, this is one of those moments where you have to say FIFA decides. The team of the year last year, we had Van Dijk, Robbo, and Trent. You know? I think that says a lot.
mm-hmm.
I think that says a ton. And then Sergio Ramos, who's going to be the emergency signing. So
Hopefully not. But then moving on to the MLS, playoffs are this coming weekend.
yes, mm-hmm.
Man United obviously made
Are
it.
in
They play Colorado Rapids. I think they
the
finished
boys.
up the Loons.
Go grab your Hassani sweatshirts
yes.
so that you can support the Loons and us at the same time.
He's coming back from injury, but he'll still score.
It doesn't matter. He's
Score
gonna,
about 10 in the playoffs.
he's gonna be on a cart and he's gonna be wheeled onto the field, and the wheels of the
and
cart.
He'll still be the best
wheel-
player on the pitch.
The wheels on the cart are going to be what he touches the ball with.
Yes.
And he's still going to never lose it, have 98% passing accuracy,
Yep.
score 3 goals, and get an assist.
Because that's just what he does. But
That's why it's the Hassani of the week.
so yeah, they play Colorado. I believe this Sunday. And, I mean, they're so inconsistent this year. People are saying if that front three of Reynoso, Lud, and Finley, and Molino, I guess front four, if they can click, I mean, they click like once every
Lud
5.
and Finley is just like, it's just no-go for me.
So we don't like Lud on this show. He has been probably one of our best players.
He pulls the strings.
But I say this.
It's luck.
He is the best player in the league inside the box, finishing.
Yeah.
He literally doesn't miss when he's inside the box.
But
anything outside of the box, he's the worst player in the league.
Not only finishing, but passing, dribbling.
Yeah.
IQ.
It's very weird. Maybe it's just we don't want to accept that he's actually kind of good this season.
Yeah.
Molino's kind of had a breakout season. He's got...
Well, it's not a breakout. He's just off and on. And
comeback player. He got nominated for that.
Yeah.
I mean, they're so inconsistent. It's hard to say. I see him losing like 2-0 against Colorado. I see him winning 3-0.
I see either a 10-0 victory or a -5-0 loss.
Yeah. So, I mean, again with the MLS, we've said it before.
It's the most. If you're looking for a league that you'll never know the outcome to a single game,
you do not want to bet on
the MLS. No,
ever.
Like I would never put any money on it.
LA Galaxy finished like last. Like it's crazy. I mean,
where are Inter Miami right now?
They made the playoffs.
Blaise Matuidi and Gonzalo Higuain in the MLS playoffs.
I swear to God, it's rigged. If they go far, it's rigged because they just like Beckham, the owner.
Yeah,
but I just see Seattle winning it again. To be honest.
Well, here's one thing. The green teams are kind of consistent.
What other green team is it?
Portland and Seattle.
Portland has not been very good.
Really?
Past couple years. I think they did finish okay this season, but
I just feel like when I look back on the past like 6 MLS season, like Portland and Seattle both always finish in a decent place, and they're the only two, and that's why I don't like them because it's kind of predictable.
Well, yeah. So here's the thing: it's the least predictable league until, I mean, it's kind of hard. We kind of are contradicting ourselves here.
No, I'm not. I know it's the least predictable.
But then you said Seattle and
it's the only two teams. It's the only two teams.
That's it. Yeah. I mean, it used to be like Galaxy.
Yeah, but it's not anymore.
Chicharito. You know.
Okay, how do you feel about the board telling Chicharito that he's going to get released if he doesn't perform better?
Did they say that?
Yes. From Manchester United to almost being released from LA Galaxy. I mean, he was their big sign. He dropped the puck in the NHL game.
I didn't hear a word about LA Galaxy the whole season until about 3 weeks ago. I checked the table, and they're battling it out with like Vancouver. Like these just atrocious teams.
Yeah, I mean,
I was very surprised to see that. I mean, maybe it was just Zlatan. Carrying.
He is Zlatan.
Yeah.
But I think it's whoever has the nice DPs. Right now, it's Inter Miami who have the nice DPs. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up the entirety of Class on Grass this week. We will be back next week for a normal episode. So yeah, we'll see you Monday night when it gets posted this week, and then also the next week. So yeah, I hope you guys have a good week, and peace out.